talk to me about, coming back to real estate and talking about stake in general. I know that it democratizes access to real estate investment. I know that it fractionalizes that for the average individual like myself, where I, obviously don't have a phenomenal portfolio. I don't have enough money to put down a down payment on a big house and things like that. But at the same time, I do know that exposure to the asset class is really important. Stake does that. Tell me what else I need to know about stake.
So I think stake is really interesting because I think everyone has that affinity, like you mentioned, to real estate. And that isn't just, local to this part of the world. That's wherever you travel around the world, everyone has that high affinity to real estate. So I think instantly when you think of like an investment platform, people get it. They get real estate. I'm buying real estate. I understand, capital appreciation. I get that as a landlord, I will get income. I think those are the common themes people understand. Whereas when you think about stocks, bonds, crypto, for the general retail investor, they're more complex, how you understand them, how they work. So I think, first of all, the beauty about stake is real estate people understand. It's a 3-year-old startup, we're a seed stage going on to our Series A, 3 founders that honestly complement each other in terms of their experience and skill set really well. But essentially, we give anybody the chance to own and build wealth through real estate, no matter where you are in the world. So we now have almost 500,000 users. Some of our biggest markets are not just in this region, UAE, Saudi, Kuwait, but also US, Canada, UK, France. We have people sitting on their couch in Japan investing in Dubai real estate in minutes. It's very, very cool. And it gives people that accessibility, which I think is Dubai wants people to be able to visit Dubai, invest in Dubai, and we make it more accessible and more easy for them to do so. And I think, it comes with challenges along the way when you're building things, something for the first time. It's pure innovation, but I think that we're helping so many people get access to Dubai real estate and build their wealth, and that doesn't happen overnight. We're not I always say we're not trying to make it into a day trading platform. We're not crypto. You're not going to double your money overnight. It's about sustainably building wealth over long term. Yeah,
that's very interesting. And speaking of doubling your money, when are you launching off-plan properties?
I'm not sure.
Because that's what we really want. No, I'm kidding. I mean, obviously there was a time in the market when, off-plan was extremely seen as super risky and some projects may not get funded or this kind of things. But now we've reached that maturity in the market where a lot of those things are reaching that kind of maturity.
I think off-plan is one of those things that there's always question marks on off-plan. You really have to look at the developer, the location, the build. And I think that you really have to understand the supply and as it's coming in, because I think that, Dubai is expanding. We want to double our population.
Right.
And we need homes for people to live in. We need that. But I think that if you're, we can't do off-plan at Stake because we're regulated by the DFSA. We can only do Dubai residential ready currently.
Right.
That's what we can do right now. But I think with off-plan, you've really got to look at what you're buying. Price per square foot is increasing in off-plan. The unit sizes are getting smaller. That happens in most cities as you grow.
Yes.
It's very, very normal. It's not as if it's abnormal here. But I think that, you really have to think about not just when it gets handed over, I'm going to sell it for X premium.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of the supply that's coming in, when it's due to be handed over, there's going to be a lot of supply that's handed over around that time. Right. That will have a hit on values. That's definitely going to have some impact on the values. So I think whatever you buy, real estate should be long term. Real estate should always be long term. And I think if you believe in Dubai as a city and you believe in the story of Dubai and the growth of Dubai, real estate is a good opportunity here, no matter how you invest in it. But you've got to invest with kind of the long term goggles and long term mindset.
Of course. Yeah. And, in the context of fractional sort of real estate investment, what do you think a lot of people miss / don't understand about it? And, as an individual that doesn't make, let's say, a lot of, several millions of dirhams a month or whatever it is, I'm very cautious about how I invest my money. How do you think the average individual feels empowered enough and smart enough to invest in any form of real estate, whether it's fractionalized or not? And how do you guys help them make that decision better?
Good question. I think it is, I honestly think it comes down to education and transparency. When I think back to when I was working with Property Monitor 7-8 years ago now, this is when, we were really lobbying to get more transparency from the DLD. Jari data wasn't available, rental data wasn't available. you started to get more transaction data, but there wasn't a huge amount out there,
Now
and
they
that's
have
difficult.
APIs.
Whereas now, that, you know, kudos to DLD. I think they've released so much data, and I think you're now finding some really good solutions that make that data understandable for the average retail investor. And I think being able to see what average transactions are and rental prices, and there's lots of different platforms that offer it now and take it from DLD and put it out there. So I think first of all, it's like educating and giving that layer of transparency of like what the market is doing, because I think everyone can tell a story, every seller can sell a story, every developer can sell a story, but at the end of the day you need to look at your data. So I think data is like highly important, and I think at Stake one of the things we always try to do is make sure people have that data. We are so clear and so transparent on the investment opportunity. We are very clear on fees, we're very clear on appreciation, what yields you can expect. And I think, you know, we don't have a magic wand. We're technically still landlords, right? We don't own the real estate, but we still deal with the challenges that a landlord struggles with. Higher occupancy rates, making sure you've got people paying, you know, the current market rent, making sure that you are getting paid and you are getting your checks on time, all the things that you can imagine you get as a normal landlord. Everything that we do with a Stake, the beauty of it though, is as an investor, you don't deal with any of that. You know, we deal with all of it. You open the app, download the app, invest in a bit of real estate in literally a matter of minutes and let us do the work. And then you get paid into your wallet every month, and then you self-capital appreciation when you want to. So I think real estate is something that everyone wants, everyone's interested in, but that education is important for people to feel comfortable in what they're investing in. Because like you say, there's people that, you know, you have an average salary, every dirham counts, where you invest that dirham is incredibly scary. But I think that we have to remind ourselves that building wealth takes time no matter what you invest in, and you can get lucky with some crypto one day. I don't know if anyone will right now, but
you really don't like crypto, that's what I'm understanding.
But you definitely have to you know, you have to have that long-term mindset.
Very interesting.